And it's not the first time, allegedly, that heavyset blokes have muscled in on WA's internationally renowned, seriously loose, sometimes criminal, hard metal mining industry. The only place in WA dodgier than West Perth, the Doll's House Gentlemen's Club. There's this rumour doing the rounds at the moment on St Georges Terrace, and if it's true, it's going to piss off Mark McGowan like nothing else.
We wonder why the Eastern Staters call us the Wild West.
Two smartly dressed men, Stephen Parnell and Adam Mackay, are sitting at the Belgian Beer Cafe in the city. Former business partners in a gold mining company, and they'd had a falling out some time earlier. Parnell thought he was there because they were close to settling their feud, but allegedly finds himself surrounded by some heavyset dudes introduced as some of the most dangerous people in WA, who force him to sign over his interests in the company. Those allegations came out in court yesterday, and it's not the first time, allegedly, that heavyset blokes have muscled in on WA's internationally renowned, seriously loose, sometimes criminal, hard metal mining industry. Heavies and bikies and gangsters all love a punt on a junior explorer as much as the rest of us.
I'd be more worried about coyotes if I were you.
What was the business that coffin cheater Darren Whittaker turned to after leaving the club? Mining tenements.
That name rings a bell.
Whittaker, or Jugsy as he's known to his friends, was one of the people boxer Ray Fazio knocked out during that infamous fight outside Fantastico restaurant in Subiaco. Jugsy based his tenement operation in the only place in WA dodgier than West Perth, the Doll's House Gentlemen's Club. He spent his days working on his tenement business and the nights making sure troublemakers didn't manhandle the girls. A bit like Sam Kerr.
Decent hip and shoulder. She got a yellow card for that.
Yeah, it's total crap. You get worse bumps standing at the bar at the Doll's House Gentlemen's Club, which at the time Jugsy was hanging around was owned by Tony Three Fingers Gergoni, who went by that name despite clearly having more. The Doll's House was used by another occasional mining tenement punter named David Druitt, who was election guru to one-time Perth MP John Hyde and ran a disputes mediation company with Jugsy. That business association didn't sit well with John Hyde's position as chairman of the Parliamentary Committee overseeing the Corruption and Crime Commission.
Awkward.
Mining tenements played an important role in the drug operation headed by former sprint car driver Tony Matter. Matter owned tenements along with Melbourne crim Edmundo Capone Kenzori.
You've got to be making these names up.
The money washing operation was pretty simple. Tenement holders used their dirty money to buy gold from gold brokers. Then they say the gold had been discovered on their tenements, and then they sell it to the Perth Mint, which is owned by the government of Western Australia. The cops realised that just about every convicted drug dealer had applied for a licence to prospect on Crown land or for their own tenement. The scam was stopped when new laws required every sale of bullion to be recorded. Career marijuana growers like Tony Batazzi and Ray Yaksich did it, as did two of WA's old-school drug runners, Ivan Jack Marinovich and Giuseppe Joe Cardile. The WA government trading enterprise known as Gold Corporation has probably laundered more drug money than Walter White's car washing business.
Jesus. Rich history of gold diggers.
It's not just history when it comes to the underworld and WA gold mining. There's a court case on now involving three men from Boulder, one of whom has links to the Gypsy Jokers, allegedly. They're accused of stealing $270,000 worth of gold from Kambalda's Beta Hunt gold mine. Cops allege that as part of the theft, they loaded a 2-ton safe onto a four-wheel drive using a front-end loader stolen from the site.
It's not just gold that lures the cowboys.
There's this rumour doing the rounds at the moment on St Georges Terrace, and if it's true, it's going to piss off Mark McGowan like nothing else. It's about the Browse gas field. That's 140,000 square kilometres of gas off the coast of Broome, sitting in 200 metres of water. It's one of the biggest gas reservoirs in the world, and for decades the WA government has been trying to get it developed. It's owned by Woodside, which has been promising to do something with it for years and years. Remember those protests at James Price Point? Yep. That was over Woodside's plan to pipe the gas from Browse, or specifically the Brecknock, Calliots and Tarosa fields within the Greater Browse Basin to a new LNG plant 50 k's north of Broome. That fell over because it was too expensive, and since then, nothing's happened.
Until now?
The rumour is Woodside is talking about cutting WA out of the loop by sending the browse gas to the Northern Territory. A Japanese company called Inpex operates the nearby Ichthys gas project. Inpex pipes gas from the Ichthys field 890 kilometres underwater to an LNG plant in Darwin. Woodside officially says it intends to send its browse gas to the Northwest Shelf, WA's original gas processing plant. But Karratha, where the Northwest Shelf is a long way from Woodside's gas fields. It's much cheaper to build a shorter pipeline to Ichthys and tap into Inpex's existing infrastructure. And Inpex needs the gas because they've discovered that its Ichthys field is connected to the nearby Prelude field, which is being tapped by Shell. Inpex and Shell are sucking from the same milkshake.
I drink your milkshake.
And Shell sucking with a floating gas processing plant that's bigger than 4 US aircraft carriers.
So what does that mean for WA?
It means we get screwed over. It's a pickle for Petroleum Minister Bill Johnston, who in opposition accused Colin Barnett of not getting a good deal for WA on browse. We're going to get screwed even though successive WA governments have been very nice to Woodside by allowing the company to roll over the retention lease at Browse, that's the right to process the gas, since the field was discovered in 1967. And even though the McGowan government has been particularly supportive of Woodside's recent Scarborough development by fast-tracking approvals.
Sounds like a slap in the face.
The only card the WA government can play concerns the Tarosa field. Tarosa is about 1/3 of Browse, but the rest is in Canberra's hands. Woodside would need permission from the WA government to send Tarosa gas to Darwin. Piss off the state government and they could lose 1/3 of their gas. And they might find the approvals process for their other developments start really slowing down. Because in this state, there's a gang that's bigger than Bikies. I'm Ben Harvey. For more update, click the subscribe button below.